Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the fourth day's training of, I think it should be the fifth day's training of SuperMapJS Context Development Group. This is Jason speaking. So I think, let me share my screen first. We can start our training today. Okay, so before start our training, let's take a look at our training schedule here and see what is our task for today. Yesterday, we already achieved the function of modify the attributes of building and modify the geometry of building. And today, we are going to create the function of create a new building and delete an existing building. Sorry, this should be n, right? All right, and based on the content of yesterday, we can take a look at it. Based on the content of yesterday, let me open the edit.js. And yesterday, we mainly achieved the function of edit the attributes and geometry of the building. And we used the class of Supermap, which is ol.supermap.featureService. And we use the edit feature service. And the edit feature parameters is there are some members of it, like the features, the data source name, data set name, edit type, and return content. So today, but we need to notice that the edit type, we use the update. So today, and besides of update, I think yesterday I already mentioned it to all of you that the edit type can not only be the update, but also we can use this edit feature parameter to add a new feature or to delete an existing feature. So actually today we don't have any new content, just based on the edit feature parameter to change the edit type from update to add or delete to achieve our requirement today. And by adding a new building, so we need to first, of course, we need to draw a building, right? And then we need to set the attributes of it. And we can we just need to create one feature and then put it as a parameter instead of the added feature parameters. So what we are going to do today is first, if we want to add a new building, we need to draw a new polygon, right? And then we need to set the attributes. In order to allow the user to set the attributes by themselves, we need a panel to let them to input the attributes they want, input the attributes they need. So first, before we start to achieve the JS code, we need to put the div, put the HTML in our content. And we can say this is our interface. This is the interface of our application. And there are two tabs. The first tab, we already use it for the land use, and we based on the type to query the land use. And for the second one, as default, there is one button and a table. But I think the tab 2 is very suitable to put the panel of adding a new building or delete an existing building. All right, let's achieve it by the HTML code first. Okay, and before that, we can see this is the HTML code, and this div is for the sidebar, right? This is for the sidebar, and inside of the sidebar, we can see the earlier, this is the tab 2, and this is the tab 1, and we already gave it the title of land use type. So for the tab 2, we can modify the name as suggest as building, because instead of this type, all of our operation are related to the building. Okay, now it's already been related, it been modified to building. And inside of the building, we need to create our content. First, we don't need to use this div anymore, so we can just delete it. And then inside of the panel body, yeah, we can see now there's only one button. Inside of this panel body, we need to put some text input. For example, it will be similar with the text with the attributes here, right? It will be similar. So we need to put some attributes here. We need to put some input text here. And please allow me to copy it directly and replace the button, the earlier button. And now we can see first we use the div and it is the form group. And we have a label and input text. And the label is OSMID. And then the code and then input and F class and input and name input. And of course, the type input. All right, so let's take a look at the building information now. So now we can say the OSMID, the code, F class, name, and type. But I set to default value for the code and for the F class, because all of our building, the F class as a building. So it depends on the attribute name of OSM data. And of course, if you have F class, they are all building. If you have some other attributes, you can easily create. You can do it by yourself. And there are two buttons. The first one is add. The second one is delete. So I want to achieve the function of when I click the add button, I can draw a polygon. And then after we got the geometry of the polygon, we draw it, and we want to get the attributes from this table, from this input text. After that, we can and then we can submit this new building to the server. And the delete one is when we delete it, we want to select one building and then delete it. So it's not hard to be achieved because we already achieved the similar function before. We just need to combine them in a different way. For example, for add, we need to draw the polygon which is similar with measurement, right? And after we get the geometry, we want to also get the attributes and use the added feature parameter to construct it as a feature, then upload to the server. And for the delete, it's the same. When we click delete, it will be similar with we select the building and query the information. So when we delete the building, when we click delete, we need to draw a point and then use the spatial query function, spatial query to get this building, and use the added feature parameter to delete the existing building. So let's see how to achieve it. We can also refer to the step code, and this is for the div of adding and deleting building, right? These are the div, and we already achieved this step. And next is we need to achieve the function of adding building. Okay, let's go back to the code, and we can see for the button, for the add building button, we give it a function of draw building, and for delete button, we give it a function of delete building. So we need to achieve the draw building function from let me copy the code from the earlier version. All right, so this is the draw building, and earlier I put it in the settype2.js, but I think we can just achieve it in the edit.js because they are all about the editing. Okay, and here we can paste it here, and let me explain to you about them. So first, we need to define a interaction of draw, and the type should be polygon. And for this interaction, we draw it in the source of draw layer. Yeah, that will be the same with earlier layer. We just draw it use in the draw layer, and we need to add the interaction to the map of this draw building. Okay, and we need to give it an event of draw end. After we draw the building, we need to add this building. We need to get the geometry of this building. So we get the geometry from evt.feature.getGeometry, and then we need to create a new feature which is online.feature building geometry. Actually, you can just use the evt.feature. It's the same. And don't forget to remove the interaction because every time we only need to draw once. And after that, we need to get the value from our put index. So we can based on the jQuery function to use this one to based on the ID to get the value of it. So we can see this is OSM ID, and here we give it the ID of OSM ID, and this ID is code is for code F class, and name, and type, right? Okay, so we can go back. We get the OSM ID value and give it to the building feature values OSM ID, and building feature values code, and F class name type. So until now, we can try to console.log this building feature we construct, and let's take a look at it. So if we don't input anything, we click the add directly. Let me see the draw building, and here we give it the draw building. It shows the draw building is not defined. Okay, draw building is not defined. Oh, sorry, I put it in a wrong JS file. It should be here. Yeah, it should be this one. Sorry, earlier this edit.js file is from the my previous project. Okay, so it's here, the draw building, and we need to console.log the building feature. Let's take a look at it. And yeah, now we can draw a building, and then we console.log our building, and in the value our feature, and in the values we can get the code is the default value 1500, and the F class is building, but for others they are all empty. So let's try it again. If we give it the number, like this one is 123, the name is like test1, the type we set it as let me find the type of it. Okay, we set it as industrial. All right, we set it as industrial, and we click add. Now we can see the values. we already get the code, F class, name is test1, OSM ID, tab, and as well as our geometry with George. So based on this feature, we can put it as the parameter of added features parameter, which is the building feature. And it's the same, the data source name should be cadastral data, right? And the data set name should be building, okay? And the added type, don't forget to set it as add. And it will be the same with earlier. We need to send this parameter as the parameter of added features. And in the callback function, we set if we got the succeed, then we need to alert add building successfully. And then we need to refresh our layer, our tile layer, and also clear all of the jaw. That is clear the building we draw in the jaw layer. Okay, let's take a look at it. We can find a building which didn't been recorded, and let's say for this one, yeah, it doesn't have name and type. How about this one? No. Okay. Then we don't need to put the name and type here. And for the ID, we give it a 112233, for example, and the code, the building, the name as test11. The type is empty because this building around it is also empty. Okay, and we can click add. We click add to start the draw, and we can based on it to draw a building like this. Double click to end the draw, and after we end the draw, we will use the added feature service to send this request to the server. We can say, I think it should be. Sorry. Oh, where is the? Oh, it seems because of this map already been flashed. Yeah, I think this one, the header. Okay, and we can see instead of this request, we already can get all of the information we sent, and then it is 201 means we successfully get the response from the server. Okay, and then we click OK to add the because this is an alert. After we close this alert, we will refresh the layer and to clear the draw. Okay, and refresh it. Then we can see that there is already one building added to here, the building added. And since we already defined the type based on the type to create the semantic map. So we can also set the type and to control the number of the building. For example, yeah, here is one, and around this building, the type are all terraced house, right? And here we can add a new building, for example, this one. Like this one. Okay, and add building successfully. And then we can see the color will be same with its same type's color. Yeah, and we can also find another one like this one. It is in industrial, right? It is industrial, and we give it the type of industrial and create a new building. For example, the small one. Okay, and add building successfully. and we can say this building will be the same. This building will be the same color with the industrial, right? Okay, so until now we already achieved the function of add the building, and next what we need to do is to achieve the function of achieve the function of delete the existing building. Oh, we can get the code from here. Yeah, we get the code from here and set it into the added building. Yeah, now we can say for the delayed building, actually it's also not hard to be achieved. First, we define one new interaction of delayed building, and it is the draw a point. It is for drawing a point. And we add this interaction to the map and give it an event of draw end. And inside of it, we need to achieve the function which is similar with the query. Like that is, we get the event feature values geometry as a geometry, and this is the geometry of query by geometry parameters. And the name should be the layer name, because for this one it is based on the map service, right? So we need to modify the name as the layer's name. Okay, like this. And then we use the query by geometry, and we define the callback function. And after we get the service result, we need to here we need to only use the IDs, because for delete the building, delete one feature instead of added feature parameter, we only need to set the SMID, which is IDs. Okay, and first we get the feature from the query result, and we need to add this feature to the vector source, to the result there, and then we set this we set the value as the and then we need to give it sorry, this one is not necessary. And in order to set the IDs, because as default, when we get the result of queried one, it will be the string. The format of the SMID will be the string. But in order to achieve the added feature parameters, the IDs should be number. So we need to use the faceInt function to convert the string format of SMID to number format. And for the data source name, we also need to modify it as our data source name, and data set name. Data set name is building, and return content is true. And after that, we use the added feature service. And here, the added type should be building, and the set name should be building, and the added type should be delete. And then we go to the added feature service, and in the callback function, we set the alert. If this feedback is succeed, we give it an alert of delete building successfully. And we also need to refresh our layer and clear the draw. Let's take a look at the result. So for delete the building, it will be the same with choose one. And I don't want to modify the existing data inside of this data. So I want to add a new one first. Add a new building here. Okay, and after that, yeah, this is a new building, and I want to delete this building. How should I do it? we can use this delete, and then we can draw a point, right? After we draw the point, we will query this building out and send the ID of this building to the server to delete it, and click OK. And then we get the feedback of delete building successfully. Then click OK. Now we can see this building already been deleted. And it will be the same if we find another building to be deleted. I cannot find the building earlier I drew. For example, here it seems this is a wrong data because all the building surrounding it doesn't have the record. And let's say this data is it's most. Let me find another one. How about this one? Yeah, like this one, it doesn't have name and type. Okay, so if I choose the delete, I need to draw a point and click this button, delete building successfully. So yeah, we can say if we refresh our layer, zoom in, zoom out, then this building will be deleted. So for this function, actually for the delete function, we can also achieve it after we select the building, such as we can add a new button inside of the pop-up, and when we click delete, then this building will be deleted. And in this way, we don't need to click the delete button and draw the point again. So I think in your project, if you are interested in to improve the current function, I think you can try to achieve the delete button inside of the pop-up. Okay, now let's review our task today. And today we need to achieve the function of delete. We need to achieve the function of delete and create the buildings. And so actually we already achieved it. Now today's content is not hard, right? And I saw there is an so it will be the same. We will record we are recording all of the video, and we will upload the video to YouTube. Please feel free to check the YouTube again, and also the step document for all of the source code. I will upload it to the Google Classroom. I hope I can get your application, get the record videos of your own application in the Google Classroom soon. I want to say the last one is until now we already achieved all of the functions related to the 2D. And this one already can be a simple demo of cadastral management. We have all the necessary basic function like query, edit, management, adding, and deleting. After we add other new function to this system, for example, like user management and or the approval progress, then it can be a complete cadastral management system. So it's not very hard, right? And from tomorrow, we still have 2 days, which is day 6 and day 7. On the day 6 and day 7, we will start the content about 3D. I will show you how to visualize this kind of data in a 3D scene, and how to achieve the query function, and how to add the online base map and the online terrain layer to the 3D scene. Then this project will be more useful, and it will be cooler. Okay, so I think today we already finished our content today. Please let me know if you have any question. Okay.